All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're talking about how the camera that you need to get started is already in your pocket.
In past videos, we have said quite a few negative things about shooting on a smartphone and how the sensors are so small, and we've made a whole bunch of videos about APS-C and full frame cameras. But at the end of the day, we are all a bunch of video nerds, and majority of the regular people watching this video maybe are still just starting out and they're just getting into videography. They're still trying to learn video editing and lighting and all that stuff.
Like Tab over here, right?
Yeah, like someone like Tab over here, who's working on his aviation Instagram. Actually, that's why we brought him in for the video. Maybe he's got a big chest. This is why we brought him in as our special guest for this video, because Mehtab here, you can actually tell us what you do.
I fly airplanes.
Yeah, okay. He flies airplanes. He has an aviation Instagram, and he's shot majority of your stuff on the smartphone. So we brought him in for this video. But back to what I was saying. So in this video, we're actually going to flip things around a bit. We are actually going to go over a lot of the positives to using a smartphone for video, with the caveat that we're talking about for starting out. We're not talking about for like a lot of professional work. For starting out, and then we will go over all of the negatives, and then essentially those would be positives to using a camera. So we'll go over all the pros to shooting on a smartphone, and then we'll go over all of the cons.
Guys, before we start, I'm gonna mention that one of the angle in this video is shot on a smartphone. It might be obvious to you guys which angle is it, or might not be. So stick till the end and we'll let you know which smartphone it is.
Yeah, and it's actually not going to be like a brand new phone, like something like a 16 Pro Max or something like an S25 Ultra or something that a nerd would have. It's a regular phone.
Yeah, something super common.
Yeah. It's past few years, so yeah, stick around to the end for that. So anyways, let's go over all of the positives to shooting with a smartphone when you're starting out. So the first one I'm gonna go over, ease of use. So what's your guys' thoughts on that? That's the main one.
For me, it's directly on your phone.
Yeah.
And it's just easy to edit. You post
Quick,
right
quick, fast.
Super quick.
Yeah. I think video editing is something that's already hard to learn. Yeah. And lighting a scene and composition, those are things that are hard to learn. And getting a full-fledged camera is intimidating. So if you can use this and learn your composition and learn, lighting and video editing and all those difficult things on the side while just using this, super fast, super easy to use.
Yeah, you have that time also to learn some creativity. Like you're mentioning storytelling. People don't realize how important that is to setting up, like getting something actually to get popular, right? Because if you're thinking about you guys watching this, even that, like, authenticity matters, right? And you can make everything look super perfect. You can make everything look really nice. But if you don't like the content that's out there, it doesn't matter how nice it looks or how polished it is, right? It doesn't matter. Yeah,
interesting. So while you're learning the difficult things of video editing and lighting and stuff, here you can work on your creativity, work on whether you even like making videos, work on your composition, your frame rates, a lot of those things. You can learn that while using this.
Another thing that it fits in your pocket in the flight deck, you can just stick it.
You don't have to bring a backpack everywhere.
It's just so light, you can just pull out of your pocket and just start recording.
Actually, that transitions to the next one, is I was going to say faster setup, right? A camera, it takes more time to set up. It has, an interchangeable lens camera. You have to go through the hassle of all the lenses and stuff, which again can be intimidating to a lot of people. It's a lot. It's a lot to learn. So, like Mehtab said, we live in a world where everyone's just doing content creation, and for someone like him, someone filming content, they can just put it on and we're good to go. So that's the next pro. It's fast. Okay. Next pro, affordability. Smartphones aren't necessarily cheap, but they do so many other things, and you already have one in your pocket. So I think it's less of an investment to get in. Everyone has a smartphone in their pocket.
I mean, you don't really need to have like a crazy phone like iPhone 16 Pro Max or S25 Ultra. We're living in 2025. Like, everyone has a smartphone.
All right, so the last pro that we have here is that it has good picture quality and good light, one caveat, but also great colors.
Yeah. I mean, like someone like Mehtab, like you don't have to worry too much about color grading. You just record and you post it straight online, right? And as long as you're in good lighting, it looks pretty good. A lot of it is less about the quality and the effects and, you know, things like that. Like, sure, for us, like in the professional realm, you need to give that. And even for us, when we make the YouTube videos, we talk about video gear and videography business. So we need to to show our credibility, we do need to show like high production quality. But for a regular person, like if you're starting like some cooking channel, or if you do some aviation videos,
even just the regular vlogs, like they're just so famous now.
it's more about just
authentic.
being authentic, like Nav said, being authentic and getting the message across. And a smartphone has good enough video quality to do that. You know, it's not amazing, but it has good enough video quality for those who are starting out to get the message across.
You just want something that just like you can just pull it right out of your pocket and it just looks good and you can tell a story to a certain extent with it. Like things are shifting now on YouTube and Instagram, right? We've noticed it. Like people are setting up like just their phone in the gym or just their phone in the car and just recording with it and talking to the camera. People care a lot more about somebody like connecting with them rather than just the quality. Of course, like you said, people expect that from us, but they're not necessarily expecting that from everyone. Like we know somebody who reads children's books, and nobody's expecting a mother that reads children's books to have like the craziest cool setup. They just want to see like an authentic person just having a good time reading a children's story. Right?
And you're still starting out, you're still learning, and I think when you're in that demographic, all of these pros that we mentioned, the ease of use, the speed, the affordability, the decent picture quality in good lighting, those are the things that are going to matter to you.
I mean, that's
right?
all they care about.
That's all they care about. So those are essentially all the positives.
And just again to piggyback on that, this is all you need to get started, right? I mean, I know one of my buddies who lives down in the States. He had an iPhone 12 cracked up, and he's a fitness trainer, and he made his first $200,000 on a cracked iPhone 12. Posting videos online. So everything you need is right here.
And most modern phones, like you mentioned, the iPhone 12 is what he's using. Most modern phones have that capability. It's not just like the $2,000 phones we're talking here, right? That's like a 4 or 5 year old phone. It's cracked up. It's probably not in the best conditions. You'd be surprised what your phone can actually accomplish.
You know, he's lying to the audience here because he actually doesn't use his phone anymore. He got a pair of these the Ray-Ban Metas.
$300-$400 glasses.
That's all you need. All you need is $300-$400 glasses. Love, here, put these on. It seems like something a freak like you would wear.
Buddy, only I can pull this off.
How do you record on it?
I think this is a button over here.
There's a button right on the side,
There you go. That's our fourth angle. We have 2 camera angles, 1 mystery smartphone, and now you have Love's POV. That's the POV of a single man. That's how a single man sees his world. Anyways, those are kind of all of the positives. Now let's shift towards the cons to shooting on a smartphone. And if you feel like a lot of these resonate with you, maybe you're already past a lot of these stages that we mentioned. Maybe you are more of a video nerd. You maybe already know how to edit videos. You already know lighting, and now you're really trying to just get the best picture quality possible. You already understand things like composition and frame rates, and you already know that you're really passionate about it. You've started a YouTube channel, and now you're trying to really invest. So let's go over, let's say, the negatives to shooting on the smartphone. So the main thing is like you're gonna have less precise control over your exposure, or the whole exposure triangle. Essentially,
it's limited. You can use an app that basically does a digital simulation of it, like Blackmagic Camera or the Final Cut Camera, I believe, right? And it does a simulation of it, but it's not super precise, and you still lose something, right?
You'll have like digital shutter speed, but it's not a mechanical shutter on a mirrorless camera, or you can adjust your aperture to get this like fake bokeh look, but it's not the actual aperture blades moving on your physical mechanical lens.
It's all done by software, so it won't be like as good as what you're gonna get in a real camera.
Nav, you can maybe go over the next negative there.
Yeah, overall worse picture quality. Like you see these guys online with you've probably seen our Instagram reels where we do low light stuff. There's a sizable difference. It's pretty vast. Like even in conditions like this, I don't know if you can tell from one of our angles if it's a little bit worse, but you need your shot to be really well lit, preferably outdoors in sunlight in daytime. If you try filming in the evening around sunset, it is going to be pretty rough, and you're going to tell it's going to start looking like something out of maybe a Nokia 3310 or something.
Now you went to a full bad. You went so bad.
3310 doesn't even have a camera. It's not gonna look that bad. But
super noisy though.
Super.
It's gonna be noisy.
I mean, people can go back in our video, beginner versus pro, where Joshua recorded everything on 16 Pro Max, and you can see the difference between the S3 and Pro Max.
You could tell it was night and day.
It's a big difference.
The thing is that the regular person doesn't know the difference between noise and like pixelation. So it kind of looks like it's a little bit soft, it's a little bit pixely, like you're filming on something actually old. Even if you're filming on a newer cell phone, so you can start to tell the difference pretty fast. I would say in that area.
A guy like me would have no idea.
Yeah, and again, like that just puts like I think Mehtab falls under the first step here is like he's just prioritizing speed, efficiency, ease of use, and like just decent quality and good lighting, right? Like he's like a lot of these things here. If you're listening to this and you're like, I don't care about this, just start your journey and just start shooting on a smartphone and get going. Like just start making videos and you'll figure it out.
Keep the lights on in the house.
All right, next one. I kind of already touched on this, but the bokeh, like like the portrait modes on the phones and stuff, it looks really bad. It's fake. You get natural depth of field, real natural depth of field on a full frame camera.
I mean, that's another benefit of camera. Like you can change lenses. Like you can go to 50 mil, you can go to 35, you can go to 85 if you want to take really good portraits and stuff. It will make the bokeh like really, really good.
Your focal lengths are also like you can actually physically change them. You're not digitally zooming on a smartphone and losing quality, right?
Cropping in. Now this is something that's super specific. If you're watching this video and you don't really know how to video edit, you're probably not going to exactly know what we're talking about. But basically, it's about color grading. You don't get the dynamic range on these phones. So codecs and bit rates, you're not going to get the same level of quality. You're not going to be able to do the same amount of adjustments if you're trying to add colors in the shadows or in tints or increase saturation or sharpness. It's going to start looking very artificial very quickly. While on an actual SLR camera, on a mirrorless camera, you can do that and still have it look natural or still have it look like you actually intentionally did it, rather than you just slapped some colors on it and called it a day. Unfortunately, with the cell phone, that's kind of how it looks. So it's better to actually keep the natural look. But you lose that customization.
You get the limitations, right? On a camera, you can shoot in 10-bit color and then have all the flexibility in post to color grade it the exact way you want.
I think people should understand that iPhone has like this tiny sensor. Like it can take only some amount of light.
And that goes back to what Nav was saying earlier about it being so bad in low light. Is because the sensor is so small, right? All right, so the last negative to shooting on a smartphone for video is just gonna go down to what this is that it's a smartphone, right? The ergonomics are not the same. The ports are not the same. The cooling system's not the same. Like if you get a camera, you get like full size HDMI port. You get all these ports. You can add an external monitor. You get tally lights. You get the ergonomics and like a joystick and all that. This is built to be a camera. The ergonomics on this is built to be a mobile computer.
Can you hold on for a second? Can you button up your shirt, dude? It's really bothering me.
Buddy. Give me the Meta Ray-Bans here, so people can see what Nav's seeing here. Mehtab, do you mind buttoning up a bit here? We want the video to still be monetized here, all right?
All right, let's take a look here. So if you guys can tell what I'm looking at here, like this guy went maybe about 3 notches too low here.
Anyways.
Ergonomics.
Ergonomics. Back to ergonomics. Yeah, I think I covered it. Like, this is built to be a camera. Yeah. You're going to have so many benefits. You know, the cooling system, the interchangeable batteries, exactly. You know, the tally lights, the record buttons, everything here, this is built to be a camera. This is built to be a mobile computer. So there are a lot of, you know, negatives to that. And then there's a lot of pros to go into this. So what do you guys think is your final verdict here? We went over all of the pros to shooting on a smartphone. You know, me and Love have the 16 Pro Maxes. You know, we all have, you know, decent smartphone cameras on us. You know, actually we've shot a lot of our intros to the reels, just you know, super quick and conveniently on the phone. You know, our Mac Mini reel was shot on the smartphone. So, you know, with all that in consideration, we went over all the pros to shooting on the phone and all of the negatives. What do you guys think is the verdict, and what demographic do you think should shoot on this, and what demographic do you think should shoot on something like this?
Yeah, I mean, I would say people who are just doing like getting started or just doing regular vlogs and stuff, maybe cooking classes or reading books to kids and stuff. I think they should just go with the iPhone. They don't really just get started. They don't really need like a full frame camera to do like go to like extra mile to do it.
All right, now, so what demographic do you think should get something like a mirrorless interchangeable lens camera?
Yeah, I mean, as soon as we started talking about the cons, I think if you understood like at least 50% of what we talked about, if you know what an exposure triangle is,
dynamic range,
you should get a real video camera. You have so much more control over your image that it's really priceless to somebody who knows how to use it. So I think if you're filming stuff for clients, you want that control. You want to tell more of a story with your actual video content. Get something like that. I would say it's great for that kind of user.
If you're going deeper into YouTube, you want to really start investing into higher quality. If you're doing client stuff for businesses, events, weddings, anything like that, I think then that's the time to start using something like this. But most people, even if they do want to be there sometime in the future, you know, you don't start with that.
You don't jump to that.
You start with something like this.
Iron out your craft, iron out your storytelling. This is more than enough to get you halfway to where you want to be. Like, there shouldn't be any excuse for not getting started on content creation just because of how good phone companies have been at making these good for content creation. That's essentially what they've made it for. You have apps like CapCut, even Instagram and YouTube have their own proprietary editors now. You can literally just record something on your camera, pop it into Instagram, edit it in there, add an audio, add text, and just
post it. What do you edit your videos on?
Instagram.
There you go. Like on the Instagram app itself. Yeah, I think we didn't actually touch on that. The ability to just share things so quickly, it's on your phone. You can get it to any platform just like that. You don't need to move it onto a computer or anything like that, because that can also be intimidating to someone who just wants to start.
Exactly. Right? You're out somewhere, you film something cool, you can take a 10-minute washroom break, and your reel's already on Instagram.
That's what it happens.
All right, Nav, do you want to give the reveal for what the third angle is?
Yeah, so we mentioned that it's not like a 16 Pro Max. It's not a current phone. It's actually my 13 Pro Max. So it's about, 3-4 years old now? 3 years almost? Old. 3 years old.
3 generations old. It's a lot more affordable of a phone, and it's probably more similar to what a regular person would have in their pocket.
Exactly.
And, you know, you guys can drop a comment below, like, maybe it was easy to tell the difference between, you know, the mirrorless cameras and the smartphone, but, you know, put the comparison aside. Does it look fine? Is it still getting the point across? Is it getting the message across? You know? So
Yeah, at the end of the day, people want value. People want to, like when you watch YouTube, you usually come here because you want to learn something.
Yeah. You want education.
You want education, right? So is that getting the message across? I think so. All right, guys, to those who made it to the end, thank you so much for watching. We really would appreciate if you hit that subscribe button. Most of the people who watch our content still haven't subscribed, and we are a small channel, so every subscriber counts. We really appreciate if you guys would join our community. We love tech. We love making tech-related content. We love making content about phones and cameras. If that's something that you enjoy and you love this group setting, you love just sitting in on the boys' conversation, just hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and drop a comment if you enjoyed and if you have anything you guys would have us improve. See you in the next one.